And we're always so excited about everything that we see coming out from Hasura. It just makes our work so much easier. So thanks for that.
We love hearing that. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Raphaël. Appreciate it. Do you want to give us a little introduction about who you are, your background, and what you're going to share with us today?
Yeah, so I'm Raph. I'm co-founder of If Him App Creative. We are an impact-driven digital product studio here in Vancouver. And we're also building a framework called the Chewy Stack, which uses a few different services around Hasura at its core. And yeah.
Chewy Stack, I like that name. In that case, I'm going to go ahead and unshare my screen and let you take it away.
Sounds good. So here you can see my browser. We've been using Hasura and GitPod together for a few years, and we found that both of these tools really improve our velocity. We can just get features out the door much faster than with other workflows that we've used in the past. But there are a few things that make it a little bit more complicated to, or some of the time, Hasura and GitPod don't play nice together. And so we had to come up with some workarounds to make that happen. So you can see here that I have Hasura up and running, and I've got a database. But if I try to do what you might normally try to do, which is just run the Hasura CLI to get the console up and running, and I go here, you'll see that Hasura console is not able to reach your CLI instance. And the reason for that is that if we go into the network, it is trying to reach localhost, which we do not have available in our browser. And it can be really practical to just check out a PR in the browser, not have to set up your local VS Code, or if you want to just hack on something real quick, it's just practical to be able to do that. It also means that you can get developers on Chromebooks, which is nice in certain cases. So let's stop that, and we will try something else that you might attempt if you're trying to get this done, which is you'll notice in the lovely Hasura documentation that there are parameters that you can pass to the CLI, like the API port and the API host. Now,
keep saying nice things about the documentation. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So you'll see that it won't bind. And so if we try that again, it still won't work. But you will see that we're now trying to reach the correct endpoint. So the way that we got around that is that we basically run the CLI twice in Docker containers. So in our Docker Compose, we've got Hasura, we've got our database, but we also have this CLI console and CLI API. And basically here we run the same command that we just ran, but we don't actually expose that port. So we just do 9695. And then here we run 9693 without the bind command, without the API host and the endpoint, and the port. And so when we do that, Docker Compose up. So now if I try to refresh this, you'll see that we don't get that error anymore, and we can add a column short text, and we are getting our migrations here in the browser. There's a little bit more to it. We've got a custom Docker file to get the right permissions for GitPod. But yeah, that's basically how we get all of that up and running. Makes it a lot faster for us to get PRs reviewed, to get especially junior developers up and running. It just really helps out our workflows to get both of these things working together.
That's very cool. Are there any resources that folks could take a peek at if they wanted to try to implement something like this themselves?
Yeah, so let me...
Didn't mean to catch you off guard there.
Yeah, so we've got this one. So I can post the link in the chat.
That'd be great, yeah.
So this is the repo where you can check that out. You'll see that's under Go Chewy, and yeah, that's the project. You can go to gochewy.io to take a look at that. It's not quite ready for prime time, but it will be soon, hopefully. And yeah, that'll hopefully get you building with Hasura and a few other services much faster. And you can check us out at goec.io. That's our digital product studio, Ephemer Creative. And we're always so excited about everything that we see coming out from Hasura. It just makes our work so much easier. So thanks for that.
We love hearing that. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Raphaël. Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
All right.